I was having this conversation with my mentorship student the other day, actually today, and we were talking about personal brand. So a lot of people, a lot of copywriters are afraid of starting their own personal brand. That was me, because they're afraid of what people are gonna say about them if they post their face, if they start posting pictures, and if they start posting stuff about marketing, business, and copywriting. They think they're gonna judge them, and that's why they're afraid. And that's something we were talking about with my students. I wanted to make this clear to them, because I feel like the one thing that separates top 1% copywriters, six figures copywriters, from the rest is their personal brand. That's why they're getting clients. That's how I actually landed a billionaire client that's even doing deals with Messi and all these famous people. That's how I got that client, by having a personal brand. So having a personal brand is really important. So if you're at this point now where you're procrastinating, you're afraid, you don't really want to post, you don't really want to put your face out there, I get you. But there's one thing I want to tell you. When I was in your shoes, the reason I was procrastinating was because I didn't want the people and the friends from my real life to see what I'm doing. This is what I was afraid of. This is what I was trying to hide away from. And it was because I didn't want them to think, because they judged me. They judged me. And that happened. They started making fun of me, and that's true. I'm not going to say it's not going to work. If this is going to work, though, I'm going to tell you two pieces of feedback. First of all, if they're going to judge you for grinding and pursuing your goal full time, even your family, bro, this even applies to your family or everyone. Do you really think they're a good influence? Do you really think you should keep them in your life? Like, maybe if you have these people, they're not really a good fit for you. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're afraid they're gonna judge you, maybe they're not the right friend for you, or maybe you need some distance from them. Like, I remember too, in the beginning, they were making fun of me, but I just stopped hanging around with them, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I found new friends, for example. I found people who actually love me and actually are on the same journey as me. And I can now talk with these people. And that's actually the biggest benefit, I'd say, when it comes to my mentorship. Because people talk to each other, they have friends, and that's what I love. Anyway, so the next piece of feedback. That's something one of my mentorship students came up with, bro. And when he said that, I'm like, oh, bro, you just spitted a gem. You just spitted a gem. And it's that, do these friends who are gonna judge you, gonna pay your bills? Are these friends of yours gonna pay your bills if you don't post? Because, like I said, in 2024/2025, the key to getting clients is building your personal brand. If you don't build your personal brand, it's gonna be way harder for you to land clients. Way harder for you to land clients. But if you do have the personal brand, it's gonna be way easier for you. So, not posting means you're putting a lot of money on the table. You're losing a lot of money. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. That's what I want to say. So, meaning, if you're leaving that money on the table, who is gonna take that money for you? Like, are your friends who you're afraid are gonna judge you gonna pay your bills if you don't post? Like, when he said that, bro, I'm telling you, it's a really big secret. It's a really big secret. If you're afraid of posting, you need to get over that. You just need to post. Like, something that helped me is, had everything laid out for me. Had the post, I had the caption, I had everything. And then I just forced my brain and just stopped thinking, because this is something you want to do when it comes to whether it's cold approaches, whether it's doing stuff that you're afraid to do, like getting in the ring, like bungee jumping, doing whatever you're afraid of, bro. The secret to doing what you're afraid to do is just shutting your brain off and doing it anyway. This is something that's helped me in all fucking areas of my life. When it comes to sales goals, fighting, girls, everything. Shutting your brain off. Like, do you think I was confident when I posted my first video? Just go back and see my first video. See how I spoke versus how I speak now. And I'm not saying my communication skills are perfect. They, of course, need some work. They always need work. Can always improve. But they're not the same way they were. Bro, in the beginning, I was just literally writing the entire script for the video. Now, I don't do anything. Like, this, it's already almost 5 minutes, and I've not taken a single note. all of this is out of my head. I could never do this. I could never do this in the past. But why did I become better? And why did I acquire those communication skills so that now I can make more money, close people on the sales call, have influence people, get my point across to people, and have people actually tell me I have charisma in this bullshit. Where in the past I was shy, I could never speak to anyone. I was so fucking introverted. I could never speak to people. That's something I struggle with. I could never speak to people. But now it's completely different. I feel so confident. And it's because I felt the fear and I did it anyway. That's a secret. So, if you're procrastinating posting on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, whatever, just post the damn video. Just post the damn picture. And you realize that once you post the picture, it won't be as bad as you thought. Like the monster, like this monster that you put in your head that you're gonna die, for example, because this is what we think. The biggest fear people have is public speaking, and this ties back to this. So the reason you're afraid to do this is because you genuinely feel like you're going to die when you post this picture. You feel like you have this shit that is inside of you. We all do this. It's our survival instinct, and we feel like if we're not accepted by the people, our peers, we're naturally gonna die. Because in the past, being isolated by the community meant we would die. And that's true. But our brain hasn't evolutionized, or is there a word evolutionized? Anyway, you get the point. It hasn't grown. It hasn't changed. Our survival instincts are the same, because it takes. I think I've read this somewhere. It says, for our brains to change and our entire, I don't know, whatever, chemistry, whatever inside of your brains, it takes millions of years to happen. Now, I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying something I think I read. So take this with a grain of salt. But it takes a lot of time for your brain to change. And we still have all of those fears we had when we were cavemen. We're living in the fucking campfires. And we didn't even know how to speak. We still have these fears. Because in the past, we used to be groups of 20 to 50 people. And being isolated by the group, man, it would mean you getting eaten by a fucking lion in the jungle or a dinosaur. that's what would happen, bro, if you were isolated. So the reason you're afraid to post is because you're afraid of being isolated. You're afraid of standing out from the crowd. But I'm gonna leave you with this: we're not living in the BC. We're not living 100,000 years ago where people didn't speak. We live in today's world. And in today's world, the only way for you to thrive is to actually differentiate yourself from the rest. That's something I want to leave you with. Don't be a sheep. Don't follow the rest. The only way for you to get rich, the only way for you to become the best is by being exceptional. And exceptional means unique. You need to be unique. Don't be afraid of being unique. A lot of people have this fear. I had this fear. I was afraid of doing stuff that other people weren't doing because I felt like they were gonna judge me. And it wasn't until I stopped, like I eliminated this fear completely, that I built my fucking dream life at 19, 20 years old. I started making the money, I started having the relationships, I started having the friends, I started having everything I ever wanted. And it was just because of this one decision. Deciding that I'm going to keep going forward. And I'm not gonna let anything stop me. And I'm not gonna let anyone's thought judge me. Anyone's thought to stop me from... I'm not afraid of people's judgment. I don't give a fuck about your judgment. Something I've realized is you're never gonna get judged by someone who is ahead of you. You're only gonna get judged by people who are behind you. Who are not at the same level as you yet. I never get criticized by people on the same level as me or people higher level than me. I always get criticized by people below me. And it's so crazy to think about it, man. It's always the people who are jealous of you who are criticizing you. Always. So yeah, enough ranting for today. And see this, bro? I made this 10-minute video, 9.5-minute video, and had no notes, no nothing. I just started ranting. I had this one idea in my mind, what I said about the bills, that people are afraid, people will judge you, but are they gonna pay your bills? This is the only idea I had, and I came up with this 10-minute video on the top of my head. 5 months ago, would I be able to do this? Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. But the more you practice, the better you become. That's what's gonna happen with the personal brand. So start fucking posting, stop procrastinating, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you.